Hey guys, this is Joe from Analog Archive and back with another video. Today's video is going to be the vinyl finds from May, along with some records that I got in late April, right after I'd made my last vinyl finds video. Most of them are going to be coming from Rochester and specifically the Bop Shop, but there are a few that I got online. So we'll get started. There's quite a bit to show. The first one is the Relix Sessions, Michaela Davis and Southern Star. This is a indie band, kind of indie folk band from Rochester, right where I grew up. I've been following Michaela Davis for the last few years, right around the time of the pandemic, right at the beginning. She had recorded a live, did like a YouTube live video of her showcasing some new songs that she had written, and along with her bandmates. But it had been a few years since that video had come out and those songs had actually been heard. And I'd always said that if it ever came out on vinyl, that I was definitely going to get it. So this was recorded live last April. It was actually recorded on my birthday, April 14th, and it was done in New York City. But a really good modern indie folk group. She plays the harp along with, she sings, and it's just this really great alternative sound, very folky, as I said, and just a great one. This is still available online. If you go to the Relix website, there's 500 vinyl copies of that. So last time I checked, they're still available, but a great modern band that I was really happy to grab. The next one is Pat Martino, El Hombre. At the end of April, Tom at the Bop Shop had said that he was going to showcase, he was going to allow the locals to check out the records that he was bringing to the Austin Record Convention at the beginning of May. So the week before, he on Saturday and Sunday at the end of April, he allowed everybody, kind of locals and whoever was willing to drive, to check out the records that he was going to bring to the show, knowing that a lot of the records that you saw were probably not going to come back with him just because of the size of the show. And also, looking through some of those records, they were things that I wish that I had had more time and more money, because there was a lot of great stuff that I unfortunately left behind. But this was one of them. Not too expensive. I think this was like maybe $30. Original mono on the blue Trident label, Prestige. Just a great guitar-led session. This is the first Pat Martino record I have, so I was really glad to get this, and just really great hard bop, somewhat also like Latin jazz feel to it. Next few are going to be by the same artist. First one, this is Phil Upchurch, Feeling Blue. This is on the Milestone label, 1968. A little bit larger of an ensemble of this, but some great guitar playing there. So that's Feeling Blue, Phil Upchurch. Another one, Loving Feeling. This is on the Blue Thumb label, early 70s. Just another one, kind of jazz funk type sound. Really great guitar playing as well. And just recently became familiar with Phil Upchurch, so really enjoying these albums so far. So another one picked up real cheap for all of them. The next few are going to be by the same artist, not Phil Upchurch, but by the same one, and that's Stuff. This is the first album from 1976. This has Eric Gale, Cornell Dupree both on the guitar, Steve Gadd's on the drums, Richard Tees on the piano, and then there's some players that I'm not as familiar with, but just really great mid-70s jazz funk, mostly guitar and piano led. There's occasional, I'm not sure if this one There might have been, there's usually at least one track on each of these albums that has vocals to it, but mostly just real great kind of grooving jazz funk. So this is the first album. This one is their third album. This is called Stuff It. And this one I enjoyed even more than the self-titled, but another one, just great, great jazz funk playing, not real cheesy like you get with some of that 70s stuff, but it's real great playing in my opinion. They do a cover of Dance With Me, and so I knew when that was playing, I really felt like that was familiar, and then after looking at the track, I was like, oh yeah, definitely know that one. So another one, great jazz funk. And then the third one that I grabbed just recently was their second album that's called More Stuff. This is probably my favorite of the Stuff albums that I have. I think this one's just really taken to the next level. All of the tracks on this one specifically are great. The other ones, there was maybe one or two that just weren't as good. Even the vocal tracks were great. So this is, if you ever see these are real cheap. I think I paid under probably $10, $12 for all of them. Great condition, Warner Brothers labels. So great ones if you'd ever see them. The next one came also from the Austin Record Fair preview at the Bop Shop, and that's the Meters. This is called New Directions. This is from 1977, so still got that kind of southern, like bayou funk type sound, but I really gravitated towards this one and was really glad to grab it. It's really great vocals, really great kind of groove to it as well, and a great one if you ever see it. And this one's usually a little bit cheaper as well. This is also on Warner Brothers. I think this was like $30, so not too bad for a great introduction to the Meters. I unfortunately have not seen any of the early Meters records, but a great one there. This next one really blew me away. I just finished listening to this like a day or so ago. As I mentioned in the group Stuff, you had Eric Gale as one of the guitar players, and this is one of his albums, Forecast, on the Kudu label, the subsidiary of CTI. This is from 1973. It's got quite a large ensemble to it. Got quite a few trumpet players. You've got like John Faddis, Randy Brecker, and then you've got, let's see who else is on it. Baritone sax is Pepper Adams, tenor sax and flute Joe Farrell, Hubert Laws is on the flute and the piccolo. Just some bigger names. Idris Muhammad is on the drums on this. Gordon Edwards, who's also part of Stuff, is on the bass on this. Bob James is on the piano and organ, and then obviously Eric Gale's on the guitar. But this was really great jazz funk type sound. Most of it is just him on the guitar playing, and then the orchestra kind of backing him up. But really great one if you ever see it. This one's also not very expensive either, just like most of the Kudu records. Was really, again, blown away by this one. So really happy to have grabbed Eric Gale, Forecast. All right, keep going. Next one, you got Barefoot Boy, Larry Coryell. This is on the Flying Dutchman label, 1971. This is more of like a jazz rock type album. Definitely Larry Coryell's tone on the guitar is is more gritty, more rough. It's not a smooth tone like you hear from a lot of jazz guitar players. But I really enjoyed that aspect to it. The standout player it wasn't someone I was familiar with, but the saxophone playing Steve Marcus. I'm not sure if others are familiar. I've never heard of him before, but he was definitely the star on the album. It's just his absolute ability to just flow through the notes. It's got, as I said, like a jazz rock, but it also at times has a bit of like an avant-garde sound to it, especially when Steve Marcus is playing the saxophone. It gets more kind of a little more out there. Definitely not very out there, but it's got a little bit more of that edge to it, more like post bop, modal, avant-garde type sound. So cool one, not terribly expensive either. I think I need to give this one another listen. First time listening to it was pretty good, but yeah, I think I do need to listen to this one again. Next one, picked this up last time I went to Rochester. This is Beast from the East, Mandrill. I think I became familiar with Mandrill through Dylan at Noble Records, showing off some of the earlier ones, kind of saying that that Mandrill was a good kind of funk, kind of mixed funk and rock. And this one is, I think, 1975. So they had been around for a few years. But I really like this one because it had more of that funk aspect to it. Have not had a chance to listen to this one yet, but was glad to find it on United Artists. Next one's a great one if you ever see it. Chocolate Milk. That's Milky Way is the name of the album. The albums were, most of these Chocolate Milk albums were produced by Alan Toussaint, who was with the Meters. But this one's from, I think, the late, 1979. But just really great funk sound to it. Vocals, the person that's singing, Frank Richard, was really great voice, really lends itself well to the funk sound. I think a lot of times with these jazz and funk type albums, the person that's singing is not, in my opinion, doesn't always really suit the sound. It's very abstract, very different than what it is. But with this, he's got a little bit smoother of a sound, and it just really fits well with the album. So if you ever see these are not going to be expensive. This was $8. Would love to find more. This is the only one, unfortunately, I've come across. So this is Milky Way. I think this is one of their, it's a little bit later one. This might be like their third or fourth album, but would love to find some of the early ones as well. Next one I was real excited to find. I went 2 weekends ago to Ithaca, to Angry Mom Records. I've been there a few times. Great place to go to, especially when they get in solid new arrival stuff. Their bins are always stacked with a lot of heat. And I had just come across one Saturday looking through the video as the person was flipping through. And I didn't see this one, but the record that actually was next was the one that kind of made me want to go. I really enjoyed it, but to surprise, as I was flipping through, I found this one, Main Attraction, Grant Green. This is one of the few 70s Grant Green albums that I still needed. This is one of his last. I think this is the second to last one. He had one more album that was on, the album was called Easy, and I think it was on like Versatile in like 76, 77. This is from 1976 on Kudu as well, so it's a subsidiary of CTI. Similar to the Eric Gale Forecast record. This one's got not a huge, this one's a smaller lineup, but John Faddis is on trumpet on this one. Mike Brecker is on the saxophone. Ronnie Kuber is on baritone sax. Joe Farrell is on the tenor sax. Hubert Laws is on the flute. And that's all and then Steve Kahn also plays the guitar, but all the solos are Grant Green. Great sound to this. I always love Grant Green no matter what it is. His tone is so consistent, and he always knows what a particular song needs. He knows exactly what to solo, so it's really great. This one's, I was very happy to get. $10, great condition. Very happy with this. So that was a huge kind of just random find. Didn't think I was going to come across that, but this is the one that I went for. This is Philip Upchurch, Darkness. This is also on the Blue Thumb. This is a 2 LP. Similar to the other ones that I showed, this is more of like a kind of jazz rock, jazz funk type sound. Some vocals on this, I think, as well. Haven't had a chance to listen to this one yet, but another one really, this is what the introduction to Philip Church was for me, so glad I was able to pick up a few other ones shortly after this one, but just a great one if you ever see Darkness. That one's a little bit more pricey. That's more like $20, $30, maybe $40 for it. The other ones are usually under $15. So I think, yeah, the next two are also the other two that I found from the Bob Shop during that record convention preview. Supernova, Wayne Shorter. This is another one that I've been really looking for. This somewhat is similar to, well, I shouldn't say somewhat. This is definitely similar to the album that comes after this, Odyssey of Iska, which I described as being my favorite Wayne Shorter album. This one was great as well. Same type of feel, very spiritual, very avant-garde to it. You've got John McLaughlin guitar, Sonny Sharrock's also on the guitar. Walter Booker plays the guitar on one of the tracks. Jack DeJohnette is on the drums and the African thumb piano. Chick Corea's on the drum and the vibes. And then Walter Booker's wife, Maria Booker, is solos on, or not solos, is vocals on the last track called Dindy. So that one's a little bit interesting. The whole song isn't vocals, which is, I think, good. I don't really like, I've said I don't like vocals with jazz, especially with these type of albums that are slower, more contemplative. But a great one. Very excited to have found this one. Other one, was very excited, kind of introduction to some more funk. This is Up for the Downstroke Parliament. Have really been exploring the Parliament and the Funkadelic records. Also Dylan Noble Records had kind of showed off some of these, and was looking really for this one. I had just before going to the Bob Shop had thought if I could find this, then I would definitely pick it up. This one's not usually very expensive, or not terribly expensive. Got a great price for it. Very, very nice condition, almost near mint for the vinyl. But just a really great one. I really enjoyed this one. Okay. The Goose is a great one. George Clinton, Eddie Hazel penned that one. That was really the standout for me, but Casablanca label, really loved that. These last two are online ones. This first one, Funkadelic. This is, what is this one? Standing on the Verge of Getting It On. I saw this in Tunes for the Man Cave. One of his, it might have been the Record Store Day one that he did. And Josh, Take Me to Birch on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on Instagram. One of Chris's good friends that you see in a lot of the Record Store Day videos and just the Record Store videos, showed that he had picked this one up at Noble Records. Took a listen to it, really loved it, and found this one on eBay. Good condition. Was really happy with this one. So that's definitely my favorite Funkadelic one. And then to close it out, was really excited about this one, kind of continuation of that. This is Eddie Hazel. This is Game Dames and Guitar Things. This is on Warner Brothers. Pretty good condition. I would say it's probably like low VG plus. Would love to find a cleaner copy. This one plays real well though, because the tracks are mostly more upbeat, but would love to find a real clean condition one. So was really happy about this. Absolutely incredible guitar playing. Eddie Hazel, his singing also is great as well. You've got quite a few of his bandmates from Funkadelic, Bootsy Collins, specifically Bootsy Collins. I don't think, it's George Clinton doesn't appear on this one, but great one, late 70s, 77, so really happy with this one overall. So those are my finds from the last month or so. More kind of jazz, funk, both of them funk, some of them jazz, funk. That's really been the direction that I've been going recently. And please let me know in the comments what you liked. And I will see you in the next vinyl video. Bye.